A big development in Hardin County as Ford is moving to a new focus at the electric vehicle battery plant, which means major layoffs of the existing workers by Blue Oval SK. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Conrad DeLuche in today for Brooke Hash. This is another major change in a project that was first announced back in 2021. Our Alex Dieter and photojournalist Aspen Hester caught Governor Andy Beshear, who was in Louisville as the news broke.
With what the president did in the big ugly bill, with what Brett Guthrie did, because this is in his district and passing it. You know, they took a hatchet to the EV industry where we become a national leader. Any temporary job losses is directly on this president and that congressman because there was a big, bright future in front of it.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear on the sweeping layoffs at the Blue Oval SK battery plant in Glendale. Mallory Cook with Blue Oval SK confirmed that all positions have been terminated. Cook says that the 1,500 joint venture team members at the Kentucky plant, along with some of the 1,650 team members in the state, will be laid off.
What we don't know about is the current jobs that are at Blue Oval, how many will be retained in the short term, and when the hiring begins and how it ramps up.
Ford announced quickly its plans to hire 2,100 workers after it converts the EV battery plant into energy storage.
It's very unfortunate that the employees are going to be laid off, but Blue Oval SK is going away. And all of those employees will have that opportunity to reapply with Ford Motor Company to hopefully go back to work.
President and COO of Elizabethtown Hardin County Industrial Foundation, Andy Games, says their top priorities are with the impacted employees and working with Ford to get the new project up and running.
We've got a very thriving manufacturing sector here locally in Elizabethtown, and some of those jobs could be filled within existing manufacturing plants.
The announcement comes just days after SK On's disclosure that it was ending the partnership with Ford.
What I do think it does is it secures the future of Kentucky One, and as long as battery storage is moving the way that I think it will, it creates a good possibility for Kentucky Two.
Despite the looming layoffs, Kentucky's governor is staying optimistic for the change ahead. Alex Dieter, WHAS11 on your side.
Ford said it plans to invest $2 billion over the next 2 years to scale the new battery energy storage system business. Blue Oval SK says the employees' last day with the company will be 60 days after they receive notice. All those employees will be able to reapply to work for the Ford energy storage system when it opens in 2027. Well, happening today, voters are heading to the polls to cast their ballots for Kentucky State Senate District 37. That seat in Jefferson County covers PRP, Valley Station, and some of Fairdale and Shively. Now, the seat opened when Mayor Greenberg tapped then Democratic State Senator David Yates to be interim county clerk. There are 3 candidates running for the chance to serve in Frankfort for the next 3 years. Democrat Gary Clemens, a union leader and Army veteran, says his priorities are education, inflation, and public safety. And there is Republican Calvin Leach, a military veteran who unsuccessfully ran against Yates just last year. His priorities are infrastructure, law and order, and tax policy. And finally, there's Libertarian Wendy Higdon, a surgical technician and foster parent. She's focused on education reform, lowering the state income tax, and changing third-party election laws. We had the chance to speak to all 3 who were making their final pitches to voters.
We have to figure out a way to help lower the prices. Job structure, infrastructures, job structures, bringing business to the South End.
We have to figure out something to do with property taxes, and what I would propose is doing away with it altogether for seniors, vets, and disabled folks.
I would like to put out legislation that would cap student enrollment numbers, which would make the Jefferson County public school system kind of break up into smaller districts.
Now, polls open at 6 this morning and will be open until 6 o'clock tonight. There are 8 locations where you can cast your vote if you live within the district. Drop-off boxes are also available at those same locations, which you can find on the Jefferson County Clerk's Office website. That's also where you can check your voter registration status. WHAS11 will have you covered throughout the day with the latest results as soon as we get them. Well, let's check in now with your forecast, and Matthew Willoughby is in with us this afternoon. It's surprising to say that 30 degrees does feel warm compared to what we've been used to these past few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally starting to warm up just a little bit out there for you, Conroy. And overall, we'll continue to see that warm up as we go towards this week, eventually seeing temperatures closer to 50 degrees outside, but not the case right now, as we are still seeing temperatures still a little bit cold outside. Current temperatures across the area into the mid 30s, 36 degrees here in Louisville, LaGrange at 34 degrees, and Madison at 32 degrees. As we give you a look at satellite, really nice and clear, not only for our area, but really across the eastern portion of the United States. It's something we haven't seen in quite a while, where it's really fairly quiet out there across the eastern portion of the United States, especially into the East Coast as well. Has no weather systems really into our area for today. The hourly planner does have temperatures still sticking into the 40s as we head towards this afternoon back into the evening hours. So we'll finally start to reach some more warmer conditions out there. But back into tonight, we'll see temperatures rolling into the mid 30s. So it'll still be another cool night on tap, but we'll gradually start to get some warmer conditions rolling in for us as we go towards the next couple of days. But what's ahead? We are tracking our next rain chance on the way for you as we go towards your Thursday. That could involve a few thunderstorms as well. I'll be timing that out coming up in just a few minutes. Back over to you, Conroy.
A mother accused of killing her son and hiding his body in a suitcase in southern Indiana is now behind bars in Louisville on a $500,000 bond. We've been covering this case for a few years now. Investigators say 40-year-old Dejon Anderson killed her 5-year-old son Cairo in Louisville. His body was found in rural Washington County, Indiana in 2022. The case was recently moved to Jefferson County after a grand jury indicted Anderson on charges including murder. She pleaded not guilty on Monday, and a judge set bail at $500,000 cash. She's due back in court on January 27th at 10 a.m. A proposed rezoning in a Jefferson County city to build a preschool along Whips Mill Road was rejected. Some neighbors around the city of Linden had waged a major campaign that opposed the rezoning for the Leaf Spring School. Back in October, opponents of the project blanketed streets with signs against that school. The company that manages Leaf Spring had called this an incredible opportunity, and last night, Linden City Council voted against the proposal. Our team reached out to representatives for comment, but we have not heard back as of news time. Tonight, on the third night of Hanukkah, there will be a public lighting of the giant menorah in downtown Louisville. Everyone is invited to 4th Street Live for the menorah lighting, a celebration that will include Mayor Craig Greenberg, Project Friendship, and Chabad. If you head that way, you can also enjoy donuts, hot chocolate, music, bowling, and a bounce house. The event starts at 5 p.m. and the lighting will take place around 5:30 tonight.